So the next project's called Energy Tree, and these are freestanding trees that absorb solar energy.
I love the fact that those things can collect enough energy to run the whole building. And it's an example of how high-tech can look beautiful.
The World Expo happens every 4 years, and since the first one in London in 1851, it's always been about showcasing the very latest technologies. The 2021 World Expo is going to take place in Dubai, and a New York design company is building an incredibly ambitious sustainability project there.
We did the design in the New York studio, and we had a very ambitious program from the outset. And that was to create something completely self-sustaining, generating all of its own power, cooling, generate all of its own water. So this is the original concept model. So what you're seeing is that all of the exhibition space is actually sunk below the ground, and then we take the landscape up over the rest of the building. So what that means is that actually all of the interior of the building is very heavily insulated. So from the beginning, we've reduced the problem of cooling to a minimum.
I see.
So then after that, how do you provide all the energy to meet all of those needs? Well, obviously, to put solar panels on the roof, and this is 130 meters across.
Wow.
But when we did a calculation, we realized it still wasn't creating enough power. So we had a problem. And so we thought, well, how do we use the landscape to try and solve the rest of the problem? We thought, well, maybe it's a landscape piece, something like a tree. So Kaz, who's in charge of our industrial design group, took away the kind of issue of a tree, and how does that become a solution?
We found this dragon tree that was very prominent, and it met some of the architectural attributes we required for this energy tree. It had a stem, it had this reach that could support this disc up above, and importantly, it would create a lot of shade. What we needed to achieve is something that was strong enough to support a fairly lightweight disc up above. There was a company only 10 minutes from the site called Premier Composite Technologies that builds with composites and carbon fiber. It was a perfect match because they also worked with a photovoltaic company, Sunovation, and they could help us develop this lightweight disc at the top.
Hi Gabrielle, how's it going in the Dubai factory?
Everything is fine. Look what I found.
Ah, I remember that. That's the steering wheel from the yacht that was the inspiration for the E-trees.
We use the actual dishes are 17.6 meter in diameter, so they're super large. They still need to provide enough stiffness that the glass photovoltaic panels do not crack.
It tracks the sun from morning through to evening around a vertical axis, and we're able to optimize the angle at about 25 degrees. And overnight, it returns back to its beginning position for the next day.
So far, this enormous innovation appears as a one-off, but there's already talk of making this reproducible. Basically, an industrial design product for other sites. We could be looking at a whole new way of building renewable, off-the-grid, large-scale structures.